I can't believe what just happened. This is incredible. I'm living in another reality or something like that. I feel totally out of my fucking body and like I'm watching myself from above or something. Insane. I sang with Zach. Hey all you cool creatures. I'm Cryptid. Welcome to the CryptidPlays channel. And today we are playing Broken Boner. Great title, by the way. It is a Yowie Jam submission. The developer actually reached out to me to cover their game on my channel. But what this one is about is that Billy is 22, broke, addicted, and barely holding on. One day, Billy starts writing in a private therapeutic journal app that no one will ever read. The night he decides to end it all, something gets in his way. Zach, the lead singer of Billy's favorite band, Broken Boner, crashes into his life in the most unexpected way. This is a story about two broken boys, a phone full of unseen words, and a dangerous love. The content warnings include self-harm, drugs, abuse, and suggestive content, and the game is intended for adult audiences only. While I will not be age restricting it, beware of that. So without further ado, let's see how this very interesting romance plays out. I will let you pause and read this, but because I can't read fast enough, but just so you know, it tells us this is a dark story and it's intended for an adult audience. And read this as well, the disclaimer. I've been in therapy for over 2 years now, and honestly, I don't feel like it's doing anything. But my therapist just keeps trying. Why does everyone keep trying? It screws me up even more seeing how hard everyone tries for someone like me, someone with no future. Am I the only one who sees it? Anyway, I've barely talked to my therapist about any of the stuff she wants me to talk about, but I just don't feel like I can, especially not with someone who only listens to me because my adoptive parents are paying her. I don't care about her sympathy. It's not real. If nobody was paying her, she wouldn't give a damn about me, just like everyone else. It doesn't even make sense anymore. I'm not a kid. They shouldn't have to pay for my stuff anymore. Actually, sometimes I think I should just leave home as soon as possible so they can be at peace and get rid of my burden. Oh, come on. They love you. I'm not their responsibility, after all. But they don't want me to leave. They keep insisting they want to help me, that I didn't deserve any of what happened. They're hoping I'll eventually see that I deserve good things. I haven't told them, but I'm saving up to leave. Deep down, I know it'll be a relief for them. They shouldn't have to deal with someone like me. Anyway, back to what I was saying about my therapist. The latest idea she's come up with is for me to get some app on my phone. She's probably one of those people who think anyone younger than a colonial-era building can't do anything without their phone, like I wouldn't be able to handle a regular notebook. I guess she thinks it's easier that way because I always carry the phone with me, or something like that. The thing is, I'm supposed to use it every day, if I can, to jot down what happened to me and what I'm thinking. She says that since it's impossible for me to talk about these things with an actual person, at least this way I can get it out, read it later, and make more sense of myself. I don't believe it's quite as good of an idea as she thinks, but whatever, I'll give it a shot. If I don't, I can't really call it crap, can I? Wow, it actually looks pretty handy. Like 1,000 buttons and ways to write, and no one's gonna see it, right? It's just for me. It's got a password. Oh, hold on. You can even add photos. I accidentally went forward. I'm still annoyed that I have to use this, but I like that everything looks tidy and nice. So I'll give making a diary entry in the app a try, just to see how it goes. Yeah, just to see how it looks. Where should I start? Oh, I've got an idea. I could write about the day I first listened to Broken Boner, my favorite band. It's a happy memory, right? Yeah, that's what I'll do. 4 years later. Oh. What's this? Oh. I'd totally forgotten about this app. It's been ages since I used it. I wonder what I used to write in here. Damn, no kidding. I really used this a lot. 80 entries, damn. Turns out my therapist wasn't that wrong after all. It actually helped me. Though, in the end, I guess I stopped using it. Honestly, I don't even remember why. Maybe I wrote something about it in one of the last entries. This is the first entry. I was only 22 then. Let's take a look. Oh, this is cute! A few years back, I found a band that changed my life, and their singer, Zach. Honestly, I was really in a rough spot when they showed up. Had a terrible day, for sure. I was really messed up in the bathroom, trying to end it all. I don't really feel like explaining why I got to that point, but I do want to talk about Broken Boner and how paralytic thoughts kept me from letting myself die right then. The thing is, I was on the bathroom's floor, and I hurt myself enough to feel like it was all over, so I put on my favorite song to drift away. Nothing dramatic, huh? Yeah. The thing is, the time passed, and when the song I wanted to hear ended, another one started. Spotify stuff, you know? Well, you don't know. You're just an app. But it's easier to write if I pretend there's a real person listening, I guess. Though I could never tell a real human this. Anyway, the thing is, it started playing and I broke down. Like, really broke down, crying. Which I normally didn't do. It just didn't happen. Then the lyrics hit me, and I got up off the floor. I don't know how the hell I did it, but I healed and stitched up the wounds myself. I cleaned the bathroom floor and went to bed, grateful to Broken Boner and Zach, the singer, for saving my life. Well, that's it. The whole story. That's how it ends. I don't think I'll be writing here again, but it's been fun, and I enjoyed remembering that part, even if the reasons that got me there aren't exactly a happy memory. Haha. My room got full of BB stuff, and honestly, thinking about them helped. Because when I felt like giving up, I'd think, Zach wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want me to die. Anyway, I'm heading out, craving my fix, and I just can't stay here like this. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to write here anymore, but I'm waiting in this crazy old lady's office, and I have to tell her I used this shit, or she's going to bug me again. I can't stand her. Anyway, what should I tell you today? Well, maybe I'll start with something simpler. My first Broken Boner concert. That was just last week. I feel kind of silly talking to you like we actually know each other. You don't know anything about me, and I don't blame you. Nobody does. But to tell you this, I need to give you a little context first. The thing is, I work at Mary's Cafe. It's a nice little cafe with a boss who's super nice most of the time. She hires misfits and losers like myself who are trying to get back on track. I'm in some program for abused and mistreated people. Blah blah blah. The thing is, I don't have any schooling, since nobody could get me back into high school anyway. So, working is fine by me. I used to buy drugs with part of my paycheck, without my adoptive parents knowing. I've tried quitting a million times, but it's impossible. Something always comes up, or I remember something. I don't know. You just can't completely quit. So I found out they were coming, and I grabbed a ticket. That week, I couldn't buy any stuff, not even the cheapest, but I didn't care. I just wanted to see Zach at least once, even if it was from way back. The thing is, even though I fell back into it later, the concert was amazing. The only day in my life I've truly felt happy. Poor kid. I guess he's not a kid, but still. Poor guy. I got paralytic thoughts tattooed on my ribs. I've noticed I only write the happy stuff here, and I've honestly run out of that. So unless I start posting some of the crap, you won't be seeing much of me, stupid app. What should I tell you today? I'm not looking for full drama either, so maybe I could tell you about when, back in high school, I was a total nerd. I liked studying and all that, and I was into comics and history too, and even made my own comics. Like a total idiot. Crazy. The bullies used to hit me, but I didn't care back at the day because I was sure the problem wasn't mine. Can you imagine thinking that? What an idiot I was. Whose problem would it be if not mine? Theirs? In the end, I ditched all that stuff and became who I am now. Stopped being fat, ditched the glasses, and even stopped studying and reading. Now nobody messes with me. The only ones who still did were my biological parents, Jimmy and Aaron. But they're gone now, so I guess nobody bothers me anymore because I'm not who I used to be, not a nerd anymore, and that's obviously a good thing. This poor guy. Today I dreamed about Jimmy again. The day he left me, he said I meant nothing to him, that he only wanted me for... God, I don't even want to write this. I've spent so many years blaming myself for all that, justifying the things that happened. He just didn't love me, that's all. But he pretended he did to get what he wanted from me, like everyone does. He wouldn't even let me hug him. He never asked how I was doing. He didn't even ask about my scars. I was actually glad back then that he didn't, because I thought it was better that way. I didn't want to talk about them either, and I still don't. But not even once? Is that normal? No. I'd like to talk about it with someone, but I don't dare do it with my therapist. I guess I'll just let the thought live in my head, like I do with everything. I'll never know if that was normal or not. In the end, I get what I deserve. I never fought for myself. I just decided to sink further. Maybe I'm just getting what I deserve. I feel ridiculous about my last entry, but I just realized this damn app won't let you delete entries. The giant X in the top left corner? Yeah, that's just to make you feel like you have control or something. What fucking psychopathic shitty app is this? I don't want to think about Jimmy. I don't want to think about Aaron. And I definitely don't want to think about my parents. I want to delete that shitty entry right now. Fuck. Man, I really got wasted yesterday. I don't even know how I'm walking today. Even my eyelashes hurt. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it for days. It's suffocating. Can't I just die? Fuck, it's not even that hard. People die all the time in the stupidest ways, right? Why can't I? I argued with my parents again. They try to make me understand that I have to move forward and that now I have the opportunity to be happy. But I can't. I don't see myself moving forward or being happy. I don't even know if I want to try. It scares me more than anything, you know? Being happy. It feels too good to be true. Like a lie they want me to believe. Can someone like me even be happy? I don't think so. It feels impossible. Aaron did me so much damage. Whoa, wow. He broke my ribs. It's funny. My parents don't laugh when they remember what happened. But they don't know nothing. No. They don't know. He hurt me in so many ways. I almost don't even remember. I was high all day and didn't go to school. I left to go live with him and let him hit me and hurt me. I did it on purpose, though. I was so bad, I just wanted someone to make me feel worse. He laughed. I cried, covered my face with a bag, 'cause I was ugly. It's funny, really. No one wants to hug me or even touch me without me covering my face with a bag, 'cause I'm gross and my body is full of scars. I want to stop thinking about never being hugged. I want to stop thinking about this shit. Wow, I am so fucking wrecked. That's it. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna kill myself. Yesterday, I wasn't joking. I'm serious. I can't take it anymore. I feel bad for my parents. I feel bad for Mary, but no one's really going to miss me. I feel like a burden, and they're only around because they have to be, not because they actually want to. I know they'll feel relieved when I'm gone. I don't know when. I need to figure things out so it impacts them as little as possible. But it's gonna happen. That's for sure. Broken Boner is coming to my city. I've decided I'm going to get the meet and greet. I'll tell Zach all the good he's done for me, thank him, and enjoy something good for the last time. After that, that's it. I'll just hold on for a bit longer for Zach. I quit. I can't stand the way Mary looks at me with all that sadness. No way! Today's the concert, but the meet and greet already happened. I got pretty smashed beforehand, so I could talk to Zach properly. No shame or anything, and I actually did it. I talked to him and told him his music is fucking amazing and that it saved my life. The guy kissed me when I said that. Crazy, I still don't get what happened. I mean, I showed him the rib tattoo and he bit my side. I've got his teeth marks there. Wow, what a moment. I think he's even more messed up than me. Otherwise, why would he even notice someone like me? He probably does this with everyone. I'm not that special, but I can't stop thinking about him. Plus, it's my first kiss in a year since, well, a fucking year ago. In an hour, it's the damn concert. I'm shaking. Can't wait to see him again in the concert. I can't believe what just happened. This is incredible. I'm living in another reality or something like that. I feel totally out of my fucking body. And like I'm watching myself from above or something. Insane. I sang with Zach. I sang the fucking song that I have on my damn ribs with Zach. He saw me in the crowd and brought me up to sing with him. He remembered me from the meet and greet. I can't believe it. What fucking madness. The crowd went crazy. We sounded incredible. I loved it. Damn. It was amazing. What a perfect ending to my life. Now I can go in peace. I'm waiting at a KFC. Yep, you heard that right. If I told you, you wouldn't believe it. I can't even believe it myself. Fucking Zach posted a story asking the guy who sang with him at today's concert to DM him. I freaked out a little, but I ended up messaging him and he video called me. The guy is higher than me. I didn't get a thing. But he told me which hotel he's at and that I should come talk to him. He also said he's craving KFC, and here I am, like an idiot, buying the chicken. I hope this isn't a prank to make fun of me, or that he's some serial killer. But honestly, I don't give a damn. If he kills me, he's doing me a favor, so I might as well go see what the hell he wants. Fair, I guess. Insane. Absolutely insane. He was high as fuck, but despite everything, I could follow him and understand perfectly what he was saying. Very much unlike when he video called me earlier. Between how erratic he was speaking and the connection cuts, I couldn't understand shit. I'm high too, but it's not that obvious, I think. The crazy part, he wants me to join the band. People went totally wild when we sang together. Sales went up on iTunes and Spotify. He wants me in. We got high together and chatted for a bit. We didn't talk much about me joining the band. He passed out, asleep, and I am just hugging him. I'm naked, too. Things escalated insanely fast. We didn't or anything like that, but everything happened so fast I barely understood it. He sleeps naked and asked if we could sleep together. Of course I said yes, and we spent a while hugging, kissing, flirting. But then he turned away to sleep, and I freaked out a bit because it felt cold. I felt a little used and wanted to leave, but I couldn't. I'm way too high to walk. Then Zach turned back and told me he wanted me to hug him from behind, or I can be the little spoon. Either way was fine. OMG. So he actually wanted me to hug him? He told me that if he'd been kissing me, Why wouldn't he want a hug? I wish I hadn't freaked out. But anyway, I'm hugging him now and he's asleep. I wish I could see him. Ugh, I don't even know what to think. I'm crazier than I thought. Maybe that's why my life's been such a mess. I don't think about anything. I just do stuff and go with what I think people expect me to do. Damn, I sound just like my therapist. Anyway, tomorrow I'll meet the rest of the band, and after a few weeks off, we'll go on tour together. I haven't told anyone I'm leaving, and I don't have the energy right now to do so. I don't want to talk to anyone. I think leaving right now is just what I need. Zach just made this hilarious noise. Haha, I feel weird because we're super close. Really, really close. No one's ever hugged me like this. Never slept this close to anyone. I cried a little. Actually, I cried a lot. I feel like such an idiot. If he knew how I feel, he probably wouldn't hug me. This is insane. Anyway, I'll try to stay focused while all this happens and not push him away because of my stupid feelings. Damn, I started crying when he turned away after we kissed. I can't let him see how weak I am. Zach smells crazy good. We woke up and I realized I was naked. Tried to cover myself, but he already saw me. Saw my disgusting chest. I may do a little censoring on this image just cause it goes down kind of far. It doesn't show anything, but I don't know what YouTube's feelings are about pubes. Arguably, the scars are pretty distressing, but shit. I'm not high anymore, and I don't think he is either. He's hungry. Looks like we're raiding the kitchen. I'm in the bathroom. Things have happened. Sexy things? I almost messed everything up, but seems like I don't know. I wish I could talk to someone about this. The thing is that we were both super dumb. We stole food, and then Zach started flirting with me, and I was super dumb too. We were joking, and in the end, he put some of the whipped cream we stole on my chest, and he started licking it. I got very nervous and asked if I could do the same, because I didn't want to seem scared or insecure or something. He's very confident. He knows how fucking gorgeous he is and has no problem showing it. I admire that, honestly. It makes my knees shake when he looks at me. I realized I like him a lot. He hugged me without asking, and we slept together hugging like that. He even told me he thinks I'm handsome. Nobody had ever said nothing good about my chest. I don't want to lose that at all, and I'll do whatever it takes to keep it. The thing is, we were playing with the whipped cream and laughing our asses off, and someone knocked at the door to make us be quiet. Normal, it's 5 a.m. It was fucking Matt. I don't know him, and I already hate the asshole. When Matt left, we were both on the floor of the room with the whipped cream, a mess, and there was silence for a few seconds. Then Zach asked me if I wanted him to suck my dick. I don't even know how I looked, but I got up from the floor and said no. Honestly, it made me very sad, like he was playing with me or using me somehow. It felt very cold, and I went to sit on the bed, feeling like shit. He looked at me weirdly, but got up and came to me. For a moment, I felt like he was going to kick me out or something. After all, if I don't give him what he wants, why would he keep me here? But none of that happened. Zach told me he likes me and apologized for being so intense. We talked a bit, and I still don't understand it. I didn't tell him how I feel either. What a wimp. He'd probably laugh or something. No. Anyway, the thing is, when he told me he likes me, I told him I like him too, and I leaned in to kiss him. But a normal kiss this time, no intention to provoke him or anything. When we pulled apart, his eyes looked bigger, and he seemed frozen, surprised, I'd say. I don't know. I hope it wasn't a shitty kiss for him. For me, it was amazing. The thing is, we got naked again and slept hugging really tight. Incredible. Anyway, all of this is surreal. I wish you could give me your opinion. Yap. See, that's what therapists are for. I've realized that Zach can't stand silence. At least he always tries to fill the gaps, even if he has nothing to say, especially when something emotional is happening. I think that's what happened when Matt left after banging on our door. We stayed looking at each other in silence for a while. I need to think about this. So today I finally met the others. I'm insanely nervous, but I'm starting to get a feel for the dynamics here. My therapist has talked a lot about dynamics and relationships, probably trying to show me that the crap that's happened to me isn't my fault and I shouldn't let people treat me like that. Anyway, I can spot an asshole from a mile away, and that hole right now is Matt. I've got a few weeks before the tour to get to know everyone and fit in. At least I hope to. Wish me luck, crappy app. If I have to explain everything that happened today, I don't think I'll ever finish. I don't know where to start, but well, I'll try. Today we were in the band's van, Surreal, traveling to our destination for the first concert. The thing is, all these people and I were starting to get along, and Zach was super smiling and happy. Matt, on the other hand, had an asshole face. It seems his asshole face is a universal constant. In the end, we all ended up singing during the trip, except him, obviously, and Zach was fine. Super chill until I made a joke that apparently upset him, and he turned around, giving me his back. The joke was about how funny it would be if actually everything about me joining the band was a lie, and they were really kidnapping me and going to take a photo of my dead body and use it for a cover of their next album, like that metal band. I don't remember the name now. I think that is actually something that happened. I don't remember the name either. I laughed my ass off and then said it would be a brutal death and much better than the one I had planned. Maybe it was too much information, but I'm used to laughing at my shit, and nobody had been bothered until now. Zach changed his face, and now he doesn't talk to me. I tried joking, downplaying it, everything, but nothing. In the end, he told me that I surely really think that, and it didn't sound like a joke to him. I freaked out because since when do people care if I kill myself or not? What the hell? The thing is, Sarah said that Zach hates the idea of dying and wants them all buried together. Honestly, that seemed ultra adorable to me. Then the asshole Matt said, with no context and in a very unpleasant way, that Zach was so upset because his sister had killed herself with an overdose. Everything went silent, and then for a good while, Zach lost control. He had a breakdown. Being high doesn't really help shit with these things, really. Zach started screaming and pulling his hair, repeatedly shouting his sister's name. Saying I was alarmed is an understatement. I don't think Matt should have brought it up then. I think that Zach should have been able to tell Billy in his own terms. That's bullshit. Bad on you, Matt. I tried to stop him from hurting himself, but he was moving a lot. In the end, I shouted for Matt to stop the van, and Zach ran out. The image was very sad because he threw himself on the ground, and I ran after him to hug him and try to calm him down, but not before turning to the idiot Matt and telling him that if he comes near, I'll wreck him. I held him for a good while, and at least Zach's friends had the decency to come and try to calm him down. Thank God. But in the end, the conclusion they reached is that it's best if I stay with him, so Matt and Zach aren't together until things calm down. So they called a taxi for us, and they left in the van like nothing happened. It seems like a great way to dump the problem. I don't like this shit at all. Anyway, the thing is, Zach didn't even hear me because he was spaced out, and I think he was dissociating. At least that's what my therapist always says I do when the topic of my parents or Aaron comes up. Then I tried that breathing trick to get him to follow my breath, but that had not worked. Like, at all. Then it occurred to me to sing paralytic thoughts to him. It always calms me down a lot. I don't even know how I thought of it, but it worked. And little by little, he calmed down. He even started to quietly sing with me. Eventually, I swear I wanted to cry because despite all the sadness of the situation, I felt proud of myself. Sounds bad, right? But helping him made me feel good about myself. Finally, we got into the taxi, and Zach asked me for something to shoot up before getting in the car. For the first time in my life, I felt really bad for being into this shit. I didn't want to give him anything. He had a fucking drug trip and wants more drugs. And on top of that, he wants me to give it to him. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but I don't want to. But in the end, I ended up giving him a fucking tranquilizer because he started asking me why I worry so much about him if I also shoot up. He's right. I wish he wasn't. That way I wouldn't have had to give him anything. Zach looked very different after that shit. Like he had completely lost control of the situation. Honestly, he looked so tiny there, not even getting into the car yet, because he couldn't do it by himself. The truth is, I felt a huge desire to protect him. You don't even know. Something insane, really. But well, I felt like a fucking piece of shit for helping him and giving him the fucking tranquilizer. And that's crap, it doesn't even work. The problem is that I didn't want to help him get high. Fuck, I can't stop thinking about it. I'm shit. In the end, Zach calmed down and looked me in the eyes again, like he always does. I can't explain the relief I felt when he looked at me again, and I saw he was calmer. The truth is, he looked very, very fragile, and it was heartbreaking to see him so fucking lost. Before getting into the taxi, he asked me for a kiss and hugged me in a way that made me burst into tears. I had a lot of tension built up, and seeing him better made me cry really bad. Damn. Then he told me that no one had hugged him before like I hug him. Then I started feeling things. I think this is the longest entry I've ever done, but so many things happened on the trip. Later it will be impossible to remember everything if I don't write it down. In the taxi, Zach and I started talking. We were alone and had many hours ahead. Plus, the back was soundproofed, so we could talk about everything that happened without fear of the driver listening. I felt the urge to touch his face, and Zach closed his eyes and jumped back like I was going to hit him. I swear my soul shattered into pieces in that moment. And then I realized maybe he's more like me than I thought. His life might have been different, and so might his way of handling trauma. Someone hurt him so badly that his only way to cope is being high all the time and acting like he's in total control. But in the end, it's just Zach. I finally got the courage to tell him that, besides liking him, I do really care about him too. Instead of laughing at me or getting scared, he reacted, saying that he didn't understand why, but that he feels the same as I do, that it's almost like a joke, just like some characters in a fanfic. Well, you're not that far off. Damn, that was the truest thing I've ever heard. I still can't believe any of this. Everything is happening so fast. I can't process it. I felt like I was floating, but Zach seemed cautious. He asked why I'd started feeling like he was important to me. From his questions, it was clear that he worried that I liked him just for the facade and not the real him. He also fears I was overwhelmed because he's the singer of my favorite band. Oh, whoops. Honestly, even though it stung a bit, I get it. I explained how I felt before meeting him, that I saw him as a role model, someone who may have felt bad if something bad happened to me, who doesn't want me to hurt myself. I didn't idolize him, and I didn't think of him romantically or sexually. When I met him and saw his quirks, the way he talks and moves when no one's recording, his laugh, that's when I started feeling all this. then I said something. I don't know where it came from, but it was the most honest thing I've ever said. You matter to me because I see things in you that I want to protect. And then I continued talking because I realized that if I didn't continue, he wasn't going to believe me or understand anything. I want to protect you and protect that look you were giving me a moment ago. You matter to me because I see what's inside you. It's difficult for me to explain why it happened, but behind everything you do and say, I know there's a totally different person underneath all of it. There is someone hurt and alone, and I want to protect him. After a long talk and confessing things to each other, he told me he was scared, but if I really wanted to, we could try. And so he has become my boyfriend in a very unconventional way, yes, but that's how it happened. I immediately saved his number as Zach less than 3 because, damn, I'm so excited. No lie, my fingers hurt from typing shitty app. I still can't believe all this actually happened. It's crazy. Then he asked me if I wanted to make it official, even though he's the famous one. Of course, I told him to decide. What the hell? And he opened the car window and shouted to the world that we're together. I just want to gobble him up. He's incredible, and he doesn't care what anyone thinks. I ended up shouting out the window too. Totally euphoric. First time in my life I've ever done something like that. The poor taxi driver definitely isn't paid enough. I hope you gave him a good tip. Then we kissed with no care for not going all the way, which seems hard for Zach, and for me too. I'm not used to kissing calmly without expecting something to happen next. The ride was insanely long, and we had plenty of time, so we talked about the next concert's track list. And Zach said he wants to publicly say we're together. It felt surreal. While we were talking, he started flirting with me again, really exaggeratedly, and I'm weak for his lips. Every time he did something, he pouted and looked at me, and I'm dying. He's hotter than a Twix bar, but I tried to stay normal and keep talking about the track list. Are Twix bars hot? Anyway, we ended up in a tangle on the taxi floor. Luckily, it was a big minivan, otherwise it would have been comical. I won't go into details because it's embarrassing to write, but we were talking about what we'd do to each other and what we liked about each other's bodies, and things heated up, obviously, even though neither of us meant for it to. At one point, Zach put his hand under my shirt and started touching me in a completely different way. I felt his affection like never before. I was embarrassed, but I cried again. I hadn't cried in years, and I've cried so much since I met him. I must be giving him a pretty shitty impression. When he saw my reaction, he stopped and said that even though we want each other so much, we should first get used to touching each other and learn doing things properly before taking the next step, because we might hurt each other without meaning to. He's right, but I still felt guilty for messing it up. He seemed so happy while we were tangled. I guess I'm more soft than I thought. At this point, there was still a shitload of miles to travel before we could get out of this car. The United States is fucking huge, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it's an entire continent. It's basically the size of multiple countries in one. Since we are not going to be, well, you know, doing that, we started talking, and Zach told me a lot of things about himself, about his life, his parents, and the horror they put him through. The drugs. I didn't go into much detail myself, I just focused on listening to him, but I mentioned my adoptive parents and how hard it is for me to accept the life they offer me, and a little about my biological parents, what they did to me, at least part of it. I told him how the whole drug thing started, and a few things about Jimmy, all very much on the surface level, because I didn't want to say too much in case he wasn't interested. When I got to the part about Jimmy, he got really upset. I just wanted to explain to him why I started crying every time he hugs me or touches me, because damn, Jimmy literally pushed me away if the intention wasn't purely sexual. He hated me, and I accepted it because I loved him and thought he simply didn't like affection and that I didn't deserve anything else. I spent a long time having sex I didn't even want, just to feel close to him, you know? Anyway, I told Zach all that, but I didn't expect it to hit him so hard. At least not enough to spark the huge motivational speech he gave me right after. When he finished talking to me, I ended up really uplifted and determined, and we both ended up yelling out the window how great we are, and that we'll never let anyone trample us again, ever. We laughed like never before. Time with him is incredible. It flies by, seriously. We went from excitement and laughter to looking at each other that way again, like when we wanted to devour each other, but different this time. In that moment, I realized that what I feel for him is huge, and that if I can, I'm going to love this person for the rest of my life. He looked at me the same way I'm looking at him, and even though I can't know what he's thinking, The truth is, I'd like to think he feels the same as I do. Not gonna lie, haha. In the end, we ended up on the taxi floor again, but this time just caressing each other. Feeling each other's bodies in a completely new way, now that we understand each other better, now that we're not trying to meet each other's expectations. And after a while, I just focused on how his skin reacted to my touch, how his muscles tightened under my fingers, the look on his face. I'd never done anything like this before. I didn't even know it was possible. Zach hadn't either. We experienced it together for the first time. Damn, it was perfect. I'll never forget how he caressed my chest, how carefully he kissed it. He even said he thought it was beautiful. A part of me that I've always hated, always been ashamed of. Did it really deserve that kind of love? I don't know how, but as the last big thing on this trip, we ended up posting a picture together on Instagram. Zach wanted to make it public already, and honestly, me too. It felt incredible. He's not ashamed of me. I felt so good I can't even put it into words. Though not long after, I got this horrible message from Jimmy. I thought he didn't even remember I existed. It was a shock, to be honest, and it made me feel like absolute crap. Zach saw me upset, and when I showed him that damn message, he just grabbed my phone and sent back a video basically making fun of Jimmy. I just sat there, stunned. He defended me, just like that, out of nowhere. But after a while, I was still a bit down about it, because in that message, Jimmy told me he loves me. He had never said that before. Why now? Probably a manipulation tactic, to be honest. Zach got a bit thrown off seeing me like that and tried cheering me up again, but I just couldn't match his energy. You can tell he's not used to dealing with other people's vulnerability. I really just need to keep him from seeing me like this. I don't want to be a burden. For a moment, it was like God gave me clarity, and I told him even if I was sad about what just happened, I don't want Jimmy. I don't want to be with him in any way. I wanted Zach to know that for sure, and somehow I found the courage to tell him that I love him. Deep down, I think I half expected him to laugh at me or be weirded out, but he just smiled and said of course I'd pick him, that I'd have terrible taste if I preferred Jimmy. God, he is the most confident person in the world. It drives me crazy how he is, in the best way. And then he told me he loves me too. He actually loves me. I almost fainted. In the end, I just held his head against my chest because honestly, I had no idea what else to do. It's the first time in my whole damn life that anyone's told me they love me. Zach got a bit emotional too. He didn't say anything, but he started singing a beautiful song while burying his face in my chest. I honestly have no words for that. we went from let's give this a shot to saying I love you on a taxi ride. I love being alive right now. Anyway, I think that's it. Zach's fallen asleep in my arms. I guess I don't want to die anymore. What a massive twist of fate. Looking back at this, wow, what an entry. But I don't want to forget a single detail. What we talked about, what we did. I want to remember this forever. I wish I had a friend to talk about all this. I guess you're the closest thing I've got. I'm basically Oliver Twist. Alright, I'm actually gonna split this visual novel into 2 parts because I actually went forward to see how long it is, and it is longer than I expected. Also, it gets very intense and worse before it gets better. So I kind of need to prepare myself for reading that to all of you. Yes, I did see exactly what goes on, but it's emotional, and I may have to update some of how I present the content warnings, because the next part will deal with even darker parts of the story. So yeah. But before I do my outro, I just want to thank my channel members real quick. Thank you so much to my channel members for your support. Not only does it help me, it helps the channel grow and the videos keep coming. I truly appreciate it. So yeah, that was the first part in my Broken Boner read through. It's very cute so far. Obviously there are some pretty heavy topics in this story, so you know, if I say it gets worse in the next part, trust me, it does get very dark and intense. But yeah, I won't ramble on, especially because this is only the first part. So if you made it this far, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did like it, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.